back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are the Watchers. You're now watching episode 5. Episode 5. I'm your host, Rod Dye. I'm here with Watch Rio. We're gone for a little bit, but now we're definitely back. Eventful weekend. Watch Rio attended a Grand Seiko event at one of the premier boutiques in the state of Ohio. I'm going to let him dive into that. But before we go any further, we got to do the wrist check. We got to do the wrist check. So,
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead
I'll
and
start it
start
off,
it.
man.
You want to go ahead and do it? Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
I actually wore this to the event, man.
Okay.
We talked about this already before, man, but this is once again a Timex Marlin. It deserves a second shot, bro. I got a lot of compliments on this watch, man. A lot of people at the event, we were looking at different stuff, and we'll get into it, but they were like, "What kind of watch is that?" And I was like, "Oh, this is a Timex Marlin. It's a chrono." I think they came out with the original in 1926. Timex used to be called the Waterbury Company. So, they got a Waterbury line.
Right.
But this is one of my favorite pieces, man, that I actually was one of my first watches that I got.
Hold that up to the camera. Let's see
after
that.
me and you had talked to you, like, what you know about watches, and we had a conversation. I think this is the literal first one I copped.
That was it.
This was it, bro. It's a staple. What about you, brother?
Very fire, man. So what I have on here, man, is a Citizen Soyosa. Yeah. Blue dial.
Beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Beautiful piece.
And what I like about this, man, it's like, for one, it's an automatic. It has the date, at 3:00. Has the exhibition back so you can see the movement. But I like it, man. It has the bracelet that is kind of date-ish, but definitely
presidential style links.
Yeah, definitely a quality piece, man. Obviously, a fire color, fire dial color, man. A watch that gets a lot of compliments, and a watch that punches well above its price point. And this is a watch that when I wear it. This is a watch that, like you said, because of the color, it's kind of similar to, your story with your Marlin. Gets a lot of compliments. And sometimes gets more compliments than the more expensive watches, which is crazy, which goes back to the point that we always say, like, you have to wear the watches that you like. Because at the end of the day, we get compliments on them, people just going off what they see. People don't know the specs. I mean, the people who know, they know, as I'm sure you'll detail here shortly. Yeah. But for the most part, people just look at the watch like, oh, that's a nice watch. That's a beautiful color. They go about it. But man, I love it. Man. Great value piece, man. And this
it means power.
Yeah.
Or powerful.
Yeah. And this is actually one that I got in in an offline deal with my guy Watch Rio. Yeah. Got this in
man.
Offline deal. We swap.
Bro. I think you got a great cost. You got a great price for it too.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah. So yeah, man. But man, without further ado, man, you went to the Grand Seiko event. So actually going, kind of reverse script from the last episode in which you interviewed me. And man, first off, tell us about the event. Where was the event at?
Okay. It took place in Cleveland, bruh. Okay. It was so Teddy Baldassarre. He's from Cleveland. Super well respected, renowned watch enthusiast. He took it from working in a jewelry shop to starting doing like his own YouTube channel to now he has a store called Teddy's. One of the premier up and coming watch dealers in Northeast Ohio, in a very, very prominent area that was recently built in Cleveland called Crocker Park. So he actually hosted a Grand Seiko event now that he's an authorized dealer for Grand Seiko. Now, he was already an authorized dealer for Grand Seiko, but this is like one of the main events that they wanted to team up with him and come to Cleveland. They had watchmakers there. They had the CEO there of the USA offices. They had plenty of beautiful timepieces there. I went with my brother. You couldn't make it out, but don't worry, the watchers was representing full steam in the building. So let me show you. So, when I got there, we got a little GS9 club bag, Grand Seiko bag, nice little bag, you know what I'm saying? Gift bag. You know what I mean? They got a magazine series.
Okay.
It's not for sale, but I'm pretty sure, when they do these events, they have different ones here. They just have a lot of the information about Grand Seiko and the timeline, what they're working on now. It's a really dope read, a really dope magazine, man. And it also goes over just the history of Seiko and, when they basically spawned as a sub-luxury company in 1960 and just really start making their mark. I got a sweet little Grand Seiko hat, you know what I'm saying? That's how we coming. You know what I'm saying? GS9, I'm going to have to put the Rolex title down. And this might be the next watch I want to get, man. But seriously, they have these movements on display everywhere, bro. It's really, really insane. We also got, I'm almost done. They had a little goodie bag, man. A little, I guess you would call a traveling watch case. You open it up, you put your watch right there.
Yeah.
You got the logo right there. They gave me everything but a watch, bro. They should have gave me a watch, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then finally you got the Grand Seiko pen. So, beautiful, beautiful blue velvet with a pen. Can y'all see that?
Fire.
So it's pretty dope, man.
Lapel pin.
Yeah, it's pretty dope, man. So
nice.
I'm gonna keep the Grand Seiko hat on for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Grand Seiko Rio.
So I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you, man. I didn't know what to expect at the events, man, but it was really well curated. I want to shout out Teddy, the whole team, man. When I say the event was super, super well designed, they had it's a Japanese company, so they had, all types of sushi available, all the liqueurs that they were providing. Of course, that was, on the house, but it was all Japanese vodka, gin, whiskey, free flowing around. They had a Japanese calligraphy artist there, writing people names or a little short message that you may want to give to somebody. They had a booth for that. They had watch companies there, not watch company, but they had custom strap companies that, I think they heard that a lot of people have some questions about, why are their cases 19 millimeter in width for their straps? And pretty much, they had custom custom strap makers with crocodile, ostrich, alligator, baby calf, all types of different leathers and different colors. They were actually there on the spot, and you can make an order if you bought a Grand Seiko watch there. So there was plenty of lines there. Teddy, the man, came out himself with the CEO, and they were talking about some of the things that they're coming up. And I got to see some amazing pieces, bro. Just some amazing watches, man.
Man, nah, that's fire, man. And I know one of the things that you had mentioned too that you said kind of caught you by surprise a bit. We knew that obviously you have Seiko, then you have Grand Seiko, which are their
right.
The more, I'll say more expensive piece, the more, coveted pieces, if you would, more highly regarded, pieces. But those price points get up there as well. I mean, we're talking about, are we talking about, like, like the finer, like timepieces. I'm not just talking like, like in the thousands. I mean, we're talking in like the tens of thousands, in some cases, the hundreds of thousands,
Absolutely.
some cases beyond that. And,
Yep.
we're talking like factory set gems. Like it's
Yeah.
like the at Grand Seiko is like very serious. And, a lot of purists say that, Grand Seiko is superior to Rolex. A
And
lot of purists say
that's
that.
a common thing that was going around the building. I mean, this is probably, I haven't been to many watch conventions or meetups, but I've been in a bunch of forums. I watch a bunch of YouTubes, and this is us getting into the business. So I did expect to see a couple of like all different ranges of timepieces in the building. Um, Not one Rolex in sight. And I wasn't to myself. I mean, once I got there and once the drinks started flowing, while they were waiting for them to set up to have the main conversation, the Q&A section of the evening, people were coming up, being, hey, what you got on? What's going on? What do you do? I saw a lot of different timepieces, but not one Rolex, and that's whatever. It's not like we were at a Seiko event. We were at a Grand Seiko event, and I really felt like the common theme was pretty much that a lot of the people there are hardcore Grand Seiko enthusiasts.
Yeah.
They believe in the brand. They believe in the name. They believe in the finishing and the polish work. They believe in the movement. Um, and I respect that. Like I got a bigger respect for it. Like just being real with you, man, it's really hard when you're getting into learning more about watches that I couldn't separate Seiko from Grand Seiko. And I think with marketing, that's a lot of the problem. Even in the early Grand Seikos, those watches said Seiko at the top and then a small Grand Seiko at the bottom. And I'm glad that they got away from that, because when you could go into a Walmart, or when you could go to back in the day a Kmart or a Target, and you could go and walk over there and look in that glass and get a $100 Seiko Sport 5 model, you, in your mind, if you see that name Seiko, there's no way in your mind you're going to pay $11,500 for a spring drive that says the same Seiko name on the top of it.
And
So it's really hard for the new enthusiasts, or even the older ones, the guys who been wearing Rolexes or Breitlands or Tudors or some of those names, IWCs, for them to turn around and say, now I'm going to get me a $20,000 Seiko watch.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's very difficult. I feel like it's still very like, I don't know, I just feel like Grand Seiko is still like not mainstream at all. Like for, watches that are, I mean, you've seen them in person. I've seen, Grand Seiko in person, and the watches are phenomenal. Like the watches are phenomenal. I don't know if it's just a marketing thing, or maybe, Grand Seiko would just, or they want to just maintain like the mystique of like, if you know, you know. But Grand Seiko is definitely, I would say, probably one of the most underrated, brands out there. And it was leads me to my question: did you grab a piece while you were there? Would you grab a Grand Seiko at some point to add to your collection?
I would. I did not, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
I had every intention of possibly grabbing something while I was there. We had conversations about this event, and I said, you know what, I might see something there. I kind of did some research, and I actually had something in mind. Now, it was a couple of other pieces that I saw while I was there that I will talk about as well. But the one watch I was looking at is a sleeper model. Um, is their Grand Seiko GMT 221. It comes on a ivory/cream dial. Has black GMT 24-hour hands, and then the The polishing. Now, that's one thing that I have to agree with, that the level and caliber of the polishing of those watches look like a $30,000 or $40,000 watch, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's really like, it looked like it sparkles like a diamond. I have not seen that kind of finishing, especially on a watch. And now that watch I was looking at was $5,000, right? And I still thought like, it's fine. I kept telling myself it's not a Seiko. 5,000 for a Seiko.
Yeah.
Right. But then I started looking at their spring drives. I started looking at it's called the Shanbun, which is like their number one selling watch in the US. Shanbun stands for cherry blossom. That they have some of the most beautiful dials I have seen in person. And they had like a whole display on how the dials are created. It's like 8 small dials that shows you each step of the process till you get to the final completed dial. They had it on case, like from the beginning to end, and what the final piece looks like. And I will have it playing here for you guys to see, but I promise you. But then I was noticing as we were like standing in line because you got to stand in line for everybody to take a look at the watches, and they don't give a damn about who's behind them. They're going to take their time and try on all the different pieces, and you stand there. Luckily, there's food and drinks there, and you can kind of talk to people online, because the people, when they finally get their chance, I felt like I was a little bit more respectful, but that's another thing. Yeah. But when they get their chance, they're there. They want to try on everything. They want to look at everything. I just start watching everybody who went and see what they were picking. And there was a couple of people actually buying models, not out the case, but you could buy that reference and put it on hold and walk to Teddy's, which was probably like a 3-minute walk away from where the event was at Crocker Park, and go pick it up, or they can mail it to you. So I thought that was pretty cool. I saw a couple of people, and then when I was thinking about it, I'm like, that's pretty awesome. But then I started thinking about it like, damn, that watch cost $14,000? That watch was $11,000? Because the one I was looking at, like I said, was $4,900, and I thought that, okay, but that's fair. I felt like some of those models should be in the $5,000 to $8,000 range, and I thought that was really, really cool. And I was like, okay, so they're competing with Early Datejust, Oyster Perpetual. They're in that bracket. They're in the Navitimer bracket. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And to be fair, like, because I had wrote it down, but like, they have 3 main pillars of their movements. The mechanical has a high beat at 36,000, the 9S series. The high accuracy +5, -3 seconds per day, which is pretty good. They compare those to Rolex in-house calibers. Okay. The spring drive, that's what we all know about. Extreme accurate, ±1 second per day, which is insane. Now it's quartz regulated, but it's a mechanical energy. Like mechanical energy? Okay. And it's unique to Grand Seiko, no Swiss equivalent. Then, of course, they have the quartz. They got a 9F series, most accurate quartz movements in the world, thermal compensated, hand assembled, ±10 seconds per year, not per day, per year. So, although a lot of their movements have this quartz, because Seiko, they're known for their quartz. Like, they almost blew up the whole mechanical industry, right? But if they're going to do a quartz watch, it's going to be the best quartz in the world, which I respect that. So, but they have an identity as the Japanese Rolex. So you have Grand Seiko, you have this identity of Seiko that you have over you, and then a lot of the enthusiasts lean on the Japanese Seiko. A Japanese Rolex. It's kind of like the reason why I didn't leave with one, because I went to Austin Jewelers, shout out to them, in Northeast Ohio, and And of course, I tried on some Rolexes, and it was just like, man, this OP41 Pistachio is pretty dope. This Explorer 2 is amazing. This Air King is really underrated. This Datejust Fluted 41 Jubilee on any dial is immaculate. So, and I don't want to sound like one of the Rolex fanboys, but I'm just going to keep it all the way real that if I'm already spending 7 or 8,000, I could get a Rolex right now. So that made me put a pause on it. And then I also looked at a couple of Tudors as well. I got a chance to put my hands and see the Black Bay 58 Tudor Burgundy in the metal. And it's a beautiful watch. A beautiful watch. And the AD actually said I had the opportunity to purchase that model then. So when I was looking at it, I didn't do it because I knew I was going to the Grand Seiko event the next day. Yeah. After going to the Grand Seiko event, the watches that I would have gotten were like 10,000 to 11,000. And then the watch that I was considering wasn't better than the Tudor watch that I had just seen. So that's kind of put me in a place to say I would want a Grand Seiko in my collection, but it probably wouldn't be the first or second watch that I got. But I have a newfound respect for them, just like tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous work. Their movements are award-winning. The polishing is top-notch. Presentation, I love what they are doing. They do depreciate pretty quick as far as the value once you purchase it. I don't see it's like being a watch that you can have and hold and trade up to another watch. You have to say that I'm getting this Grand Seiko and I'm keeping it for the rest of my life because I really love wearing this watch.
So a couple of things. First, so pretty much what you're saying is like Grand Seiko is like pretty much any other watch, like most watches and most goods that you buy that typically depreciate. Obviously, it's going to hold some value because you can always sell it. But as far as like really, retaining its value or even appreciating, most goods don't. And that leads me to my other point, because when you're looking at the watches, like you answered the question for me, but I was going to say, like, at what point when you look at like Grand Seiko, yes, great watch, spring drive movement, the purist, all of like like the watch people who really know timepieces say that from an actual functionality standpoint, craftsmanship, not only does it rival Rolex, a lot of people say it's superior to Rolex, but which brings me to my ultimate point. Like, it's like Rolex are like the de facto benchmark of watches, because when you're looking at a watch, you're looking at a diver and like, or you're looking at a GMC, say you're looking at a Grand Seiko GMT, you're comparing it to the GMTs that we know. You're comparing it to like, okay, like, so for example, you're looking at a watch that's like 11.5, you're thinking like, oh shoot, like Pepsi's are 11.5 retail.
Come on.
You can get any of them. The Batman,
and that's the
thing. 11.5 retail. Bruce Wayne, 11.5 retail. Like, or even like Grand Seikos that are, or even at that price point, these other Grand Seikos that are, 10 to 12,000. You're like, man, that's a 41 millimeter Datejust. You start getting into 15 to 20,000, like
they have the Evolution 9, right? I think the Evolution 9 is $12,000, right?
Yeah.
And to me, and it's like a dive watch, if you will. To me, it looks like a very refined version of their Seiko dive watch, combined with a Submariner feel finished in the Omega Seamaster point of view. I know I just said a bunch right there, but that would not make me want to get that over a Seamaster. That's what, 5 to 6 to 7,000 to or a Submariner that's 9 to 10,000. I think the key points is that you have to believe in the brand of Grand Seiko. And I think a lot of the points is where they're making their arguments is where I'm not debating them, but they're making their arguments on saying that it's better than a Rolex. And then you can walk into wherever store or go onto the whatever website and just pick one up. And I think that's amazing. So those are your benefits. But I also wonder if those same people can walk into Rolex and just pick up this Rolex here. Would they then feel that heavily about the brand that they're trying to ride for? You know what I'm saying? Like if I could just go get a Submariner, would you go still walk past a Rolex store and then get that Grand Seiko Evolution 9 dive watch that's $3,000 more than a Seiko? I mean, than a Rolex Submariner? I don't think they would. Or I don't think a lot of people would. So it just comes down to like a lot of people, either you really love the brand or you love the brand because you hate ADs and you tired of waiting for an allocation and you want to spend your money and get what you want to get now.
Which that's valid too. You know, like I always say, like, for example, when people like ride like super hard for something, like my wife and I have a joke, like, man, they really wear that on their back. So like people like love Grand Seiko, like they really, like I said, they like, man, they really wear that brand on their back for sure.
Absolutely.
Like, but I get exactly what you're saying, because it's like, are you like a Grand Seiko, fan because you love the brand, which I'm sure a lot of them are? Are you a Grand Seiko fan because of the AD process with like Rolex and like other like luxury brands? Like you said, what exactly is your truth? I think you're right in both cases. Like if the watches were just readily available at Rolex and you could just go in and get what you want, like you can just go get a Grand Seiko and pretty much majority of other brands, then I'm sure there's a contingent of people in the Grand Seiko cult following that would buy a Rolex. Like me personally, obviously, big Breitling fan, but at the same time, I know what's going on, and ultimately, like it just depends. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think like. I mean, as far as the brand, obviously Rolexes are, Rolexes, but at the same time, like, I don't think that every single Rolex is just better than every single Breitling. Like, I'm saying, there are pieces that I could say, okay, like, I was still, saying, there's still some Breitling that I would get, but ultimately just, like if I got like $10,000, I'm probably going to go. I'm gonna probably just see what Rolex are available. But I think that just like proves your point, though. Like, I think there's probably, like I said, a contingent of people that would probably think they're doing it to like take a personal stand or like spite Rolex or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, like I say, Grand Seiko, I mean, it's a great brand. It's a great
Their
brand, which goes
elegance
back to the point
collection,
too.
they
Like,
do have a lot that's in the $5,000 to $7,000 range.
yeah.
So I don't want to say that they don't have the options. They have the options that are in the $5,000 to $7,000 range. A lot of people sit in their $10,000 or less range. I do not hear a lot of Grand Seiko lovers or enthusiasts talk about their higher line stuff.
No,
I don't. So they have created a masterpiece collection.
Yeah. And I
And in
think
their masterpiece collection, I was able to view their Spring Drive 8-day masterpiece collection. It was the one that they displayed at Watches and Wonders, the Lion. It wasn't the original. It was their masterpiece collection. It has 600 diamonds pave setting diamonds in here. It's $320,000. I got to see it right here, bro.
Yeah.
And they have other watches that are in that collection. They have a Kodo Constant Force Tourbillon, their first Tourbillon. They have it in black, and then they have it in they have it one in with a black strap and one with a tan strap. They're $365,000.
All right, rapid fire, real quick.
Okay, let's go.
Rapid fire. All right,
let's go.
You're talking $300,000+. If you have $300,000+, are you going to buy Grand Seiko or an RM?
I'm getting an RM.
Yeah,
I'm getting an RM. Like what are we talking? I'm getting an RM, and I know a lot of people, they want to say, RM is a hype watch. They say this, that. I'm getting a Richard Mille. RM11, RM10, R7 series. When we talk about a Bubba Watson, give me that watch. Give me that watch, because I know where it is. I know what value it's going to hold. I have never heard of anybody having a $300,000 Grand Seiko and say, hey, now this $350,000 Grand Seiko on this second market or beyond is worth $400,000.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's going to go up 25%.
Would you get a Grand Seiko at $300,000 or a Jacob?
Give me the Jacob. Give me the Godfather. Give me the Casino Royale. What else he got? Come on. Give me the Bugatti joint. Give me the Billionaire. I know that's way, way, way more than $300,000. Like a $300,000 Jacob on that level in the Tourbillon levels is like the entry. So give me that watch. Yeah. Give me that watch.
I want to go as far as say, like, at those price points, like there's even at lesser price points, like you're talking like $50,000 to $100,000 range. Like we can there's so many watches that I would not get a Grand Seiko over. Like I'm even a little less. Like I'm not getting it over Day-Date. I'm not getting it over a Daytona. Like I'm not getting it over an AP. Like I'm not getting it over an FP Journe. I'm not getting it over. I mean, how many more like watches do we have to name that I'm not getting the Grand
Listen,
Seiko?
I want to show it to you right now, bro. I want to show it to you right now. This is the watch.
And it's fire.
It is fire, bro.
It's that so watch fire. And it's so
this
fire.
Much.
Yeah. And it's so fire.
And it's not and the thing about it is, it's not like this their one-off watch. They have a line of this watch. They have a different model of different kind of. They have this version of it.
I know
blue.
I know like Japanese billionaires that that live in Japan.
Yeah.
That probably rock those, or like maybe like influencers that are just like known in Japan, but maybe not known like across the world, that probably wear those watches on their back. But me personally just can't. I mean, you got like Grubel Forsey. It's just so many brands that I would just get over. Yeah, see.
I feel like I've seen something similar with Christopher Ward for $4,000.
Man.
This is $365,000.
For 100th of the price. I feel like it looks very Bel Canto-ish. It looks very Christopher Ward. Shout out to Christopher Ward. We both are fans of Christopher Ward. But yeah, so I'm not saying that to knock Grand Seiko. I'm just saying as far as like in that hierarchy, like if I got that, like I'm, I feel like I'm gonna go get the Jacob. I'm going to get Jacob. And not to say I would never get a Grand Seiko. Like I would get a Grand Seiko.
I would get a ceramic AP open work, black, white, or blue in that range. I would get the watch that every Rolex person seemingly don't like. I would get the Rainbow Daytona before I get that watch.
People, you found people that don't like that. I feel like everyone loves it. Really?
Yeah, see, I think it's different crowds, man. I think there's different groups, and I'm learning this as as we continue to grow on this journey of being enthusiasts and watch lovers and just people who are in love with the watch collecting culture and study of horology. I am finding in subreddits where someone posted it, said, "Hey, man, I was able to get this allocation." And there's a lot of people calling it very, very things that I would not even want to say on our
Yeah.
podcast. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's just, and it's not one or two people. I mean, I'm like 40, 50 in the first 5 minutes of just slander on that watch. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I would love to have that
Absolutely.
watch.
I think,
But it's
well,
also a lot of people who don't like the Land Dweller. It's also a lot of people who don't like the Daytona with the Tiffany blue dial and yellow gold, which is kind of funny because we just saw two people, because we talk about the watch and the man. Remember, we was talking about that a lot. Like when we saw um, Rory win the Masters and his Omega Speedmaster Snoopy. Now, over this weekend, Rolex continues to push their story. Coco Golf. Coco Golf just won a Grand Slam title wearing a purple OP, Oyster Perpetual. Rolex had their pictures up immediately.
Yeah.
And then just now, Carlito Sacares, he's taking his fifth Grand Slam title, and he's wearing the Rolex Daytona Tiffany blue and gold. So they're continue to push the narrative with legendary people in legendary moments wearing legendary watches. And that watch has now hit the market in the past 7 days to specific ADs. $37,000 for that Daytona is now going for $125,000. $125,000. People were predicting it was going to be in a $70,000 range. No different with the John Mayer 2 Daytona that's going for 160, 170,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Land Dweller is going for $40,000. It's a $17,000 steel watch. People are still wondering what the Tiffany Blue Platinum is going to go for. I would stray away from and I don't think it's them directly. I just don't think they're shying away from it either. The Japanese Rolex, I think that you guys who love Grand Seiko, I think that you guys may be doing it a disservice by constantly pinning it against Rolex. As soon as somebody posts a Rolex, they say, my Grand Seiko, my Grand Seiko, my Grand Seiko is better. It's built better. It's this better. It's that better.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. How about this? There's people buying Datejust, Day-Dates, and Submariners from 1960, and Daytonas from 1950, 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000. With 30, 35 calibers, 30, 31, 38 calibers, that are still functioning today and running as good as they were. There's Coke GMTs, there's Pepsi GMTs from 1970s, 1908, 19 that people are paying a premium for today. Let's just see, because they're a course movement, so they should just work just amazingly. If people are buying and purchasing those Grand Seikos at a premium because we know the movement is supposed to last forever, right? Or people are going to be purchasing a $320,000 Grand Seiko, or even let's just go to the Spring Drive the Shandong, their Elegance line. If people are going to be purchasing those for equal to or more than what they were costing for retail price in the next 30 or 40 or 50 years. We don't know that. So let's not lean on that as being who your competition is and just be the best versions of yourselves.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. What we do with like Just Chicken, like one things I have to be careful of is like saying that it's, you know, our version of a competitor. We're not even going to name them. Not even going to name them. This is like Just Chicken, and what we serve: chicken tenders and fries. Oh, so you? No, we're not like them, but this is what we do, and that's it. Like I'm not gonna, confirm that or anything. This is what we do.
We're not gonna say that it tastes better. We're not gonna just say that it's just that theirs is bland and Just Chicken is popping. It got actual seasoning. We're not gonna go there.
Yeah,
but I think it's smart. I think it's smart to not try to lean on, that approach. And that's the same thing I would say for Grand Seiko. You guys have a strong name, a name that's so strong that it's synonymous
have
with
a brand name.
It's like Pepsi.
Brand name.
They have a brand name that they are already synonymous with of their budget-friendly, cost-effective watches that they are rising in premium costs as well. A lot of the $200, $300 not Grand Seiko. The $200, $300 Seiko watches are $400 to $600 now. A lot of those sub $200 Seiko watches don't exist anymore, right? They're leaving that to Timex, Casio, and the likes. So, if that's the case, let's lean on that heritage. Let's lean on. I love the fact that you lean on your Japanese heritage. I do think that it's amazing to expand outside of the Swiss hierarchy to say that there are other very well made, very much appreciated, well designed, thought provoking timepieces outside of Geneva, right? So I do love that aspect of it. Let's keep leaning in on that. Let's learn more about not just the technology, but tell me more about the story from Grand Seiko. I want to know more about. I think they move very conceptually. They have dials that were created from the snow that hit the top of the trees outside of the design studio. If you guys are gonna like, I wouldn't know that if I didn't go to the event, right? But that's just literally like where they get some of their I guess you would say their motivation from. Keep leaning in on that, man, and then start coupling it with the people who love Grand Seiko. Who are those people? If it's not going to be like the celebrities, if it's not going to be people in history, then let's lean on the people who love it so much. Let's tap into the people who are the diehard professors, teachers, tech salespeople that love the brand so much and continue to tell that story here in America and other places. And that's my final go about Grand Seiko, which will probably be like a fifth or sixth watch in a collection. Fifth or sixth.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like for unless, like I said, unless it's a brand that you really rock with and you want it sooner, obviously, the brands I rock with, then I wouldn't get them regardless of where I am in the journey. But I feel you. Grand Seiko is something like, okay, I've probably not something I'll grab anytime soon, to be honest. But unless there was one that made sense, or unless I began like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and
I'll be
grab
honest
this.
with you.
But
I think you would grab one before I would. I think especially the one that I really like. I think that if you were there, you may not have copped it, but I do think that it would be like, all right, in the back of your mind after you got a certain pillar pieces that you were looking to build your collection upon. After you got like a Navitimer, after you probably got a Santos, after you probably got a Squad Dweller, after you, I know I'm saying some major hit, big, heavy pieces. I think that in between there, you would have considered. But I also, to be honest, if I'm not at an event like I was at over the weekend, I don't know if I'm walking into a retailer and getting it, or if I would get it for 20 to 35% off. I saw it. I saw the same one that I was looking at for 49. I had originally saw online for 31 or 32 new from, you know, from a eBay, from a this place, from a that place. So to be fair, if I was going to try that out, I would definitely. Whereas with Rolex, I want to get mine from the AD. So it's like I am patiently waiting for a track to explode on. You say you know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally like, yo, I'm patiently waiting. Dave, I think it's like 74 for me. So I'm still waiting for it, and then but I'm cool with that in comparison to where I would look at this Grand Seiko and I would like, if I really really want this watch, I'm not spending past 3,500 for it, even though I know it's a $5,000 watch from a retailer. I just don't. I need that discount.
it's just economics. If I can get
That's
it,
economics, bro.
it's economics. If I can get it less expensive here, I'm gonna get it less expensive here. Unless, like, about the only way I would get that watch, not even that watch, but any watch would have to be similar to like when I got like the Super Ocean, to where the discount at the AD was so deep that it justified getting it from an AD versus just going to the secondary market, because they brought it down to where it was just within, a couple $100 of what I could have got on the grand market, and then still got the warranty. I not that I'm sure. I mean, there's reputable grand market sites where I could have gotten it at, but I got it from the AD. I'm really just paying this extra couple $100, really just for peace of mind, and knowing that it's directly from the Bryland AD. I got, it's 5-year warranty, everything that comes with that. Plus, I have a connection with the boutique, with the jeweler, and that's
100%.
where I was getting at. So, like, if you were to get a watch with, like Teddy, like, you have a connection with them. And I feel like the connections are really, obviously, they're key as we're learning, we're growing. You also want to have those relationships, because even like the AD that's, near where I live for like Breitling, they're not a Rolex AD, but they just started like sourcing. They always were able to source Rolexes. Now they're like sourcing Rolexes and having them on hand.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's ever anything in particular I wanted, I could go in there and, I can go in there and talk to them, and they would source it for me. Or if they have an idea what I like, he'll even send me a text or call me. Hey, Rod, we got this in. Just
Yeah.
so those relationships help as well. Even though, I mean, obviously, we have access to the internet, but I mean, just being a dealer, you have access to like wholesale pricing and things like that. But I just say all that to say I'm with you. Yeah, Grand Seiko is probably, I can't even say like a fifth or sixth watch. I'll just say maybe one day watch
Maybe one day.
in the
It
list.
got to be a good deal to come across my desk that I say, hey, this is not bad, between me waiting for
Yeah.
a GMT Pepsi, or
Yeah.
waiting
Yeah.
for a Daytona.
I'll have to get tired of. Like
It's a bridge watch, bro.
Yeah, I just got one. I have one Rolex now. Like I would have to get tired of Rolexes, tired of Breitlings. Like I would get a Speedmaster before it, so I would get that.
There's
There's
so
even
many.
Christopher Ward, so I would get before that. And like this, yeah, I would obviously get a Santos before that. All right, one more rapid fire. We're gonna close it out. And we're not even talking like the big boy Grand Seiko, but
yeah.
just say like a Grand Seiko GMT.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right here. It's like $7,200. So we're talking like 10,000.
Is that the one with the two-tone color bracelet?
Yep.
The bezel?
The one that's fire, by the way.
Is it blue and white?
The one I'm looking at is blue and white, but we're just talking about anyone in the price range. All right. Grand Seiko, Rolex OP.
Rolex OP.
Grand Seiko, Air King.
Air King.
Grand Seiko, Santos.
Santos. Blue, green, gray, small second hands. What's up?
Grand Seiko, Oris, big pointer.
Grand Seiko.
Yep.
I would
agree.
pick the Grand Seiko here.
Yeah, Grand Seiko. You said what?
I would pick the Grand Seiko here.
Yeah, I would
I
too.
think that's I
do like the big pointers though. But
yeah, I think that's the point. I think I saw a watch that I was looking at and I've heard really great things about online. I finally was able to see at the convention was the Longines Zulu Time.
Longines. How was that?
It's nice, bro. It's really, really nice, man. It's super nice. His was like a midnight blue dial, and it was gold accents. They had the 5 stars going across. It was a beautiful, beautiful watch. And people gave him compliments on it. But when we got closer to the watch case and he was trying on different Grand Seikos, he started seeing some of the differences, and he was just like, yeah, that's its competition to me. Like Grand Seiko should be like the Orises, the Longines, the Frederic Constance of the worlds that are beautiful timepieces, great Swiss. Christopher Ward. That's where they are in my mind. That's where let's push our weight around here and bully this and take over this market and get all the $3, $4, $5, $6, $7,000 people, get them up out of here. Zenith, get them up out of here. Now there's some Zenith that are pretty dope. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, that's where I'm looking at when I see Grand Seiko. And then if we're talking about any of those watches, I'm gonna say Grand Seiko, Grand Seiko, Grand Seiko, Grand Seiko. Maybe one or two things that I wouldn't say Grand Seiko about.
Would you get the Grand Seiko or the Strata Timer? Oh man, good.
Hey man, why you do that, man? Why you messing with Jack Mason and
them, man? This racism is killing me inside.
I literally hate that name, bro. Why did they? That sounds like something that was on Back to the Future, bro. Like, what are we talking about? I'm not with no Strata Timer, bro. That's a no-go from me, bro. Oh, that's GS all day, bro. But look, though, not even being funny. Those are well made, but I'm not buying one. I don't care. Like, I'm not buying nothing called Strato Timer, bro.
For the price of
I don't care if y'all made a Dr. Pepper watch, bro. I don't care.
No, I mean, especially for $1,000, I'd rather get a Christopher Ward. I'd rather get a Tissot.
bro.
I get the
Seriously,
Tiso. I
though.
get the rose gold Tiso with the blue face. That's
Bro, easily, fast, quick. Like, what are we talking about?
yeah.
What are we talking about, bro?
Yeah.
I'll get a Doxa watch. I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff that I'm grabbing before I say, let me get a Mito multi for big TV. It's a couple of things that I'm picking before I say, let me run and get this straddle timer real quick.
What
Like,
is there a piece that you've seen that's like what's like a unique piece that you've seen that you like, you know what, people might not rock with this, but I rock with this. Like, for example, I know offline I sent you like a jump hour that
yeah, you
was like
did, bro.
unique, and I'm like, I would
Super
get this, but
unique.
also the colors were. I just thought like the colors they had were pretty. I just thought it was a pretty dope watch, especially like it was like a sub $500 watch. This and that, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously you sent me the is it Maine them. You
Man,
sent
man,
Maine.
man watches.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nico. That's pure class.
Yeah, but that's one I say. Like I said, this. I mean, there's a lot of
Nah,
unique
that
watches out
watch
there.
that you sent me, that jump hour, is definitely super unique. And I think for that price point is worth, checking it out, right? Um, this was the straws watches that we've seen. Those are those are the first jump hours I actually seen ever. Was it Straws? It's a Chinese brand, if you will. You can see them like on Amazon or AliExpress like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
When I think of
those.
jump out, that's what I think of.
So they're using so that's where I think a lot of people have the debate, and where I feel like I'm not here to talk about anybody else. It's dope that Nico was able to do a collaboration, man. I think a lot of people really came at him sideways is because he has these strong opinions about brands. He has these strong opinions about watches. When he does a watch ranking, it goes from God tier to Hublot. Wait a minute. So the
Yeah,
the tier is Hublot,
yeah.
right? He feels he has these very strong
And
opinions.
you banking like that. You come in here with a biscuit meal, man.
Hey, bro. But when he does that, and then you come out with a jump hour as your first collaboration, and you keep on talking about, it's amazing how we was able to get under $1,000, $999, yada yada yada. But you're using the movement, you're using the Chinese movement, right? And then you kind of like that strong talk, that strong opinion that you have for Hublot using Chinese movements that are manufactured and where you could get them duplicated and you could get them, buy them in mass for super cheap, but claiming Swiss and all these different things. When you use that, and then you couple it with a lot of people didn't even like the literal design of it. It's really hard. I think more people would have been more quiet about not liking it as much. But when you have these strong opinions, and they're strong, loud opinions about other people watches, whether it's a Hublot. What's another one he don't like right now? I know he talks a lot about Hublot for sure. But I think there's a couple of other ones that he just
Yeah.
really don't like. And then you come out with this watch, and you use a Chinese movement, you use these different things. Now, mind you, I'm somebody who came on here with a San Martin, so don't get it twisted. I think that there's genuine watchmakers that are outside of Switzerland. But I just think when you go so hard here and then you come out with this, it's okay for you to excuse what your shortcomings are to make it fit your narrative. and you want people to just ride along that wave because you said so, I think that's the difference. But back to your point, for the jump hour that you showed me, it's transparent, it's unique, and for $400, which Nico watch probably should have cost less than $400 in real life, it probably is something that's where you go ahead and be adventurous. I wouldn't be adventurous at 1,000 plus. I wouldn't be that adventurous at $5,000 or anything like that. But for that unique watch that you sent me, I don't know the name of it, but that jump hour was pretty dope. What was the IG Ugly Watches or something?
The brand is the Ugly Watch Company.
Yeah, bro. It's like they're having fun, bro. Like it's worth, and it's a jump hour too.
It's
So
a
you get to
jump hour.
experience
They
an
got
ugly watch at a jump hour for
yeah,
less than $500.
yeah, like yeah,
If you caught one, bring it on here. We can review it. You could give us the review.
for
That'd be
sure.
dope. That'd be dope, man. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
So it looks. You see, just have some like
Yeah, that's a unique dial right
unique
there,
dial
man.
color right there. So you said just having some fun, especially when you're a micro brand, up and coming brand. It's like you have to be different. Like I feel like you're not going to break through in the game like just making like come out just making divers or just making watches
Absolutely.
with the date in it. But like I don't know. I like this still one right here.
Yeah.
I think that's solid.
Oh yeah.
Very solid one. This black one right here.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's
And it's next to a
cool.
Corvette. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It
Like
kind of
this.
gives you an idea, where to kind of visualize it.
Yeah. Very clean, very clean. You see, especially 50 meters of water resistance, which I feel like, at least for me, water resistance is a bit overrated, just considering the fact that I'm not going to be more than 50 meters down in the water anyway. But
Yeah. Most people aren't, right? But I think that as long as like if it's storming and I have my watch on, if I'm sitting poolside and I have to hop in real quick, as long as I did everything I was supposed to do and make sure all the crowns are screwed in and pushed in and everything, it should not have any kind of water defects because of that. As long as that's the case, cool. I'm with you.
yeah,
You know, I think that the idea of okay, well, it's 200 meters water resistant. It's like okay, some people do actually go diving. Some people
yeah,
actually go scuba diving on
yeah,
a ocean floor that's not really that deep. But I just want to know if I chopped in the water and I need to jump in, I need to swim over here real quick. Whether I'm whether I'm 5 feet below the water or doggy paddling, it's not gonna mess up my watch, bro.
yeah. I think it just speaks to the craftsmanship, like it said, and just the engineering of the watch. The fact that
That they're capable of making a watch that.
yeah, because 50 meters, I'm looking here, 50 meters converts to 164 feet. Like there's not a
I
pool
don't
around.
like going to the 10 feet side of the pool, so.
I'm 36. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not jumping off diving boards anymore. If I get in the
Indeed.
pool, if I get in the pool, like the depth of the water is probably going to get to my ribs. And that's about it. Like not
That's
even
it,
to
bro.
like shoulder. Like it's going to get like
You can sit down and
yeah, like it might get, I'll say beyond a little beyond waist high, but I say it might get to my ribs, and that's about it. Like I'm just there to have fun. I'm not diving in anymore. I'm not flipping in the
yeah,
pool anymore. Like I'm literally just, like you said, I just want to make sure that the watch, if it gets rained on, if I accidentally like knock over my coffee or something, that's not gonna damage the watch. That's the most important thing. So
agreed.
yeah, man. But yeah, before we sign off, man, anything that you want to man, let the people know? We got a lot of dope content coming your way this summer. We a lot of travel, so it's gonna be
Absolutely.
a lot of like I said, a lot of content, more events coming up. I know there's Watches and Wonders coming to Cleveland, so that's gonna be exciting.
Absolutely.
Man, just Yeah, like I said, stay tuned, stay with us. Any last words before we sign off?
Hey man, wear what you want to wear, buy what you want to buy.
Yeah.
You know, we give our opinions just like anybody in the barbershop give their opinions about Jordan versus LeBron, SGA versus Halliburton, bro. You know, it's all to give us feedback, let you know you're not the only ones out there having these conversations.
Yeah.
Feel free to chime in. You could disagree with us. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
You know, just as long as we just appreciating this culture here, that's all that matters. So wear what you want to wear and wear it in good health.
Wear it in good health, man. Nah, I echo that. Ultimately, like I said, wear what you want to wear. People, unless people are into watches, they're not going to know anyway. People don't care. People are too busy trying to make it in their own world. Now, someone like myself, like Watch Rio, I'm gonna notice it. I notice everyone's watch, everyone's time.
Even on TV.
Even on TV, I notice what they have on. But wear what you want to wear. At the end of the day, you're the one that has to wear the watch. And if you like something, it doesn't matter what people think. Like, just do you. It's not the watch. It's the man behind the watch. Because you could take a watch, that costs $100 and style it right and look fly. Okay, just because you have the money to go and buy an expensive watch, no matter what it is, whether it's Grand Seiko, whether it's Rolex or something beyond, just because you have the money, that don't make you fly. So it's the person behind the watch, because it takes money to get that, but it takes a person to style a $100 watch and make it look right. It takes a person that got style to go to a Grand Seiko event with the Timex Marlin, and people say, "Hey, what kind of watch you got on? What's that?"
Exactly.
That's style. You know what I'm saying?
It's real talk, brother.
Yeah. So you see, like, we got plenty of watches. We right from the like I said, just copped it. Like, we just got you said the Grand Seiko event. Last episode, we had just got back from the AD. Today, I got on the Citizen. This is what I feel like wearing today. So,
yep,
man, wear it in good health. Stay blessed. Episode 5, we are the Watchers. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, share. Till next time, stay blessed.